Welcome to Health Education. This is the first lesson for health education in the fourth quarter. For this quarter, we will be dealing with prevention of substance use and abuse, focusing on gateway drugs. Gateway drugs, as its name suggests, is the opening, probably the beginning stage for drug use and abuse. Using gateway drugs may lead a person to try more dangerous drugs in the future. For this quarter, we will be talking about the two gateway drugs, which are cigarette smoking and alcohol drinking. But for this day, we will focus on the dangers of cigarette smoking. DOH, the World Health Organization or WHO, and other society groups against tobacco use declared May 31 as the annual World No Tobacco Day and the month of June as the No Smoking Month. Tobacco use kills more than 8 million people each year worldwide, both from using tobacco and being exposed to people who do. This is more than the number of people who died from COVID-19. In our country, there are 16.6 million people who still use tobacco. He then calls every individual to be part of the solution in preventing the youth from starting and for those who smoke to quit now. DOH is committed to establish smoke-free new normal environment for the Filipino people, especially now that we have the pandemic. According to the Secretary, sama-sama nating protektahan ang kabataang Pilipino sa impluwensya ng tobacco. Be smart, don't ever start. Now, let us talk about tobacco. Tobacco is a tall leafy plant originally grown in tropical countries. If you will remember, we had tobacco monopoly in our country during the Spanish regime in our history. The Nicotiana tabacum or the common tobacco is preferred for producing cigarettes. It was recorded that our ancestors already used tobacco as early as 600 to 900 CE in Mexico, while American Indians smoked tobacco only during religious occasions and for medical purposes. According to WHO, tobacco smoking and chewing is the third leading cause of death around the world. First is cardiovascular diseases, second is cancer. But technically, lung cancer is still caused by cigarette smoking, so we can say that it is also part of the second in the list. 1 of 10 adults die because of cigarette smoking, reaching about 5 million deaths in a year. Again, more than what COVID-19 has killed in a year. There are 4,000 chemicals in every cigarette stick that is lighted. Some of these are butane, toluene, a kind of solvent, nicotine, acetic acid, methanol used as rocket fuel, hexamine, stearic acid or candle wax, ammonia used to clean toilets, benzene, arsenic which is poison, carbon monoxide, same as the pollution from vehicle exhaust, cadmium found in batteries, and acetone that you use to remove nail polish, to name a few. 43 out of these 4,000 chemicals are found carcinogenic, meaning they are substances that may cause cancer. Nicotine is the addictive drug in a tobacco and is a poisonous stimulant. A stimulant drug increases your heart rate, blood pressure rate, respiration rate, and the entire function of your body. And if your body cannot control the increase, your organs will shut down one by one. Mainstream, side stream or second-hand, and third-hand smoke are emitted in the air every time a cigarette stick is lighted. Mainstream smoke is the smoke that the person smoking inhales to their lungs. As the smoke enters the lungs, some of its particles stick to the alveoli. Remember that the blood is oxygenated by our lungs before it goes around our body. Imagine if the only available substance in our lungs is smoke and its particles rather than oxygen, then our blood will be poisoned as it travels to the different organs of our body. Side stream smoke, also known as second-hand smoke, is the smoke that comes out from the lighted end of the cigarette. If this is inhaled by other people around the smoker, it then enters the body and the same thing happens to their blood and circulation. It is said that second-hand smoke is worse, of course, because you get the same effect as the one who is smoking, but you don't really smoke. Third-hand smoke is the residues that is left on things around the smoker. These smokes are not purely air that gets blown away. They have particles that drops on things which is still dangerous if inhaled or otherwise touched by people. There are still dangerous chemicals that is within the residual smoke. Again, the effect of the chemicals of smoking is primarily seen on the lungs, but because the lungs supposedly gives oxygen to the blood, other chemicals in the lungs are also given to our blood, which makes it thicker and stickier and causes our blood vessels to be clogged. This poisoned blood then supply these chemicals to the different organs of our body, causing diseases of different sorts. Let us now see the specific effects of smoking to our body. In low to moderate doses, these are its effects. Some have smoker's cough, some say that they smoke to have a feeling of relaxation. Of course, bad breath is included. You can pause the video to be able to read all the effects. While in higher doses, an upscale of the effects can be felt, and the body's organs works in double time, which can cause organ failures and worst, death. Long-term effects of smoking is as follows. You may pause the video to be able to read all this, but it differs in one person to the other. Some will feel all of this while some will only feel a few. Passive smoking is the same as second-hand smoke, and again can cause problems also on the other side of the stick. While cigarette smoking is a contraindication of some medicines will not take effect when a person smokes. Other medicines become poisonous to the body if the person smokes. And of course, when a mother is pregnant, she should not smoke because she will give her unborn baby the same chemicals that she got with smoking. And when others get addictive or worse, they create a tolerance that they may look for other drugs to satisfy their cravings, and then they may also become dependent that they cannot function without it. Policies and laws regarding cigarette smoking. Republic Act Number 9211, otherwise known as the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003. It is the law governing tobacco production, distribution, and use. In Republic Act Number 9211, its purpose is A. To promote a healthful environment, inform the public of the health risks associated with cigarette smoking and tobacco use, regulate and subsequently ban all tobacco advertisements and sponsorships, regulate the labeling of tobacco products, protect the youth from being initiated to cigarette smoking and tobacco use by prohibiting the sale of tobacco products to minors, assist and encourage Filipino tobacco farmers to cultivate alternative agricultural crops to prevent economic dislocation, and create an interagency committee on tobacco to oversee the implementation of the provision of this act. In Section 5, Smoking Ban in Public Places, smoking shall be absolutely prohibited in the following places: centers of youth activity such as playgrounds, preparatory schools, high schools, colleges and universities, youth hostels, and recreational facilities for persons under 18 years old. in elevators and stairways as well. Also in locations in which fire hazards are present, including gas stations and storage areas of flammable liquids, gas explosives, or combustible materials. Also within the buildings and premises of public and private hospitals, medical, dental, and optical clinics, health centers, nursing homes, dispensaries, and laboratories. Public conveyances and public facilities including airport, ship terminals and train and bus stations, restaurants and conference halls except for separate smoking areas, and food preparation areas. Violation of this on the first offense is a fine not less than 500 pesos but not more than 1,000. For the second offense, not less than 1,000 but not more than 5,000. And for the third offense, a fine not less than 5,000 pesos but not more than 10,000. In Section 9, Minimum Age Sale, under this Act, it shall be unlawful for any retailer of tobacco products to sell or distribute tobacco products to any minor. For any person to purchase cigarettes or tobacco products from a minor, for a minor to sell or buy cigarettes or any tobacco products, and for a minor to smoke cigarettes or any other tobacco products. In Section 9, Minimum Age Sale, the law do not excuse the innocence of the seller, meaning they should ask for IDs before they sell cigarettes to minor. It is not excusable to say that they did not know. Section 10, Sale of Tobacco Products within School Perimeters. The sale or distribution of tobacco products is prohibited within 100 meters from any point of the perimeter of a school, public playground, or other facility frequented by particularly by minors. The Department of Education regularly inspects their neighborhood and report to their local government units or LGUs violation of this law. Violations of Section 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 shall be fined the amount of not less than 5,000 pesos or an imprisonment of not more than 30 days. I would just like to reiterate that a violation of this law, if you are still a minor, is not a criminal liability. It will just be dealt with in the presence of your parents or guardians, and that they will be accountable if it happens again. But this was again amended that if a minor has violated the law, it will now be chargeable, and that the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, will be in custody of the child until he or she is 21 years old. After reading and gaining knowledge and information about the dangers of smoking, the decision whether to smoke or not lies in your hands. Think of your future and your family. Think of your environment, your community, and your country. Apply what you have learned from this lesson, and you can never go wrong in your decision. Again, cigarette smoking is a gateway drug, a beginning point, a start to something that is not good. And if you have already planned your future, do not enter this gate of sorrow. For your activity and quiz, check out the instructions on your FB group. This is part 1 for health education for the 4th grading. The next links will be given in your FB group for the next lessons. Thank you, and I hope you've learned something from watching this video. Stay safe, everyone!